Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat, and welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to be back with y'all today. I hope everyone's having a good day. A little extra special Throwback Thursday, because now it's on a Friday. Couldn't do it yesterday because we had a birthday lunch in the office. It was glorious. We party right when it's someone's birthday in this office, I tell you what. But it's good to see y'all. Good to see you, Seb. Good to see you, TC. Good to see you, Bree. Thank you so much for being here. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hey, Brayherd, good to see you. It's unusually late Thursday, I know. I just got really scared. Boo. Anyway, two things. First, before we get started, I want to give a thank you to Warrior for Christ for following the channel. Welcome. Glad to have you all here. Thought they're saying you have to do work again. Oh no, that would be bad. I'm sorry for giving you a little spook that way. Second, this is an adventure game. I've been going about thinking about this game all wrong. It's a point-and-click adventure game. I need to think like an adventure game developer, not a normal person. So that's why I have a very nice drink with me. I think that'll help. What I'm drinking is Seedlip, which is actually not an alcoholic. I really like these spirits. I'm not sponsored or anything. They're just really good. But I thought that'd be funny for the bit. So, oh, that's loud. Oh, okay. We're running from the Nazi. No, we're running from the Nazi. That just kind of really threw me in there from where that save was. So we can go this way or this way. I'm gonna go south. I'm already closer. Seb, have you played this game before? Just out of curiosity. Since you mentioned the jellies in chat. You have not. Oh, okay. Oh, good. There's rooms I need to find. Hello, crabs. Robot part. Nap time? Alright, you take care. I was not prepared for robot parts.
You'd think the Atlanteans wouldn't be such slobs.
Just finished a book called Tank Warfare of the Eastern Front. Nazis in there seemed a bit more realistic than the ones in this game. I wonder why.
You'd think the Atlanteans wouldn't be such slobs.
Okay, so that took me from there to there. Little crab friends. I like how big the crab's eyes are. Let's check out these two rooms real quickly. Oh, so it took me from there to there. Okay. Oh! Pool of molten lava.
It looks very, very hot. What an archaeological find. Looks like something is missing.
A sandwich?
I don't think that'll work.
No, this is not a sandwich. Okay, so I'm guessing this is a forge to make orichalcum beads. Oh good, they mark it. There's lava room. Because that sounds important. Hello, mystical spiral swirly thing. I can't even interact with it. But we saw that on the wall. Oh, I'm over here now. Oh, this is going to get confusing.
What a mess.
But we're up a wheel. I consider that a gain. Gale has redeemed first! And lo, the crown of firstendom hath passed unto ye. How you doing, Gale? Oh. Well, okay, well, we found a friend.
It seems to be an air vent.
Can I open it?
It won't budge.
No. I'm eating 4 separate salads. That's a lot of salads. Any particular reason you're eating so many salads? Potato, pasta, lettuce, tuna? Are you at a cookout or a picnic or something? Oh, there's another swirly thing. Okay, so that leads me over to here. That's kind of helpful, I guess. It was what my work had on the menu. Bruschetta, orzo, quinoa, and chickpea. Oh, okay. Use mug with pool. Let's get some crab water.
The stein is now full of water.
Maybe we can use the water in the lava pool to make a platform. It's a video game, that's exactly how it works. Can't walk to that statue.
I can't reach it from here.
Well, not with that attitude. Actually, let's go back up, because there's one more room up here in the start that we haven't gone through. And I want to just kind of cross things off systematically. Oh, in fact, there's a couple rooms here. 3. Oh. Yeah, glad we came back. Point-and-clicking adventure game protagonists are incapable of jumping. Isn't that a thing Guybrush Threepwood has to do? Isn't there a jumping competition? Can I whip the guard from here? No.
The only mark on this map is one big X. I don't think that'll work.
Oh, if we put the orichalcum in the sentry statue.
Ah!
Why is this music so jaunty? It's like do 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 do. It's a useless room. Quick, Indy, run! Oh. Well, this looks like an important room.
It appears to be a tube running back into the machine. It's an empty bowl. I don't think that'll work. I can't pick that up. It's carved to look like a beetle.
Oh, there's a funnel. This place does not seem ADA compliant. Yeah, I don't think the ancient Atlanteans were terribly concerned.
Guess it doesn't like water.
With ADA compliance. OSHA's gonna write them up. Ooh, hello. Spoked wheel, peg.
Now that looks much better. I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll work.
Oh, I need to connect them.
Why?
Well, I was gonna make a... That was very rude of you, Indy. Because we use
I don't think that'll work.
that on both of those, we could have made a pulley. I think that's what that is. Also, it doesn't seem like it really fits into that space there, but, you know. There we go. Okay, can't get there. Okay, so if I go down this way, I can get there. But there's a Nazi in the way. Oh,
You
whoops.
must be Indiana Jones. Looks like your adventure is over.
Another Nazi stooge. Put him up.
Once you know how the fighting mechanic actually works, i.e. use the number pad, it's not too bad.
Looks like he's got some rations.
Oh, good, I have a bratwurst now. That'll help me in my crime fighting. There's a divot there. Don't know if that means anything. Because quite frankly, anything in this game could mean something. I have an eel statue. We used one of those in Iceland to thaw the guy's thing out. Oh, hello, Nana Kid. Good to see ya.
It looks like a cross between a bull and a fish. It looks like a stone fish head.
Well, it shouldn't be a fish head. It should be a bull head. But we don't have a bull head. That shot is amazing. What do you mean? Like just the camera angle? Oh, hello.
It's got a wide open mouth.
Oh, you have a fish head. What if we give the fish a fish head?
That doesn't seem to work. The stein is now full of water. I don't think that'll work.
I think we found our next area. Why don't you label that? Oh, that's labeled. That might be the prison room where our friend is. No. We've been here. Room, love room, room. Did I miss a room over here? What's the question mark? No? Okay, so we've explored the whole ring now. So let's go to the lava room. Aha!
It's a small pedestal.
And now it's full of,
I'd rather not stick my hand under a stream of molten lava. So we have the machine room and the lava room. That's just back to the airlock, which is where we started. We've already cleared that out. Maybe I should find a way back into the... prison room.
One key problem, all these start to look the same after a while, and they don't have a whole lot distinguishing them. Yeah, that took me to there. The fact that it's labeled Crab Room feels important.
I don't think that'll work. That doesn't seem to work.
I think a sandwich or a
seem to
bratwurst
work.
would make wonderful bait for crabs. Actually, I can't get in the pool, can I? No.
Looks deep. It's an orichalcum detector. It's not pointing anywhere. There must not be any orichalcum nearby.
Oh, whoops.
Chance again. Too bad you didn't leave when you had the chance.
We'll see about that. Put 'em up. He doesn't have anything worth taking.
Well, that's a thought. There are other guards. Maybe they have something worth taking. Okay, now this is where I got the eel sculpture. It's the headless statue.
I don't think that'll work.
Oh, hello, canal. That's... Wait, that's... Okay, so we've got the sentry room. Can I walk beyond? Okay, so this is the sentry room. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, you...
The sentry statues have it locked up tight.
Didn't know you could just get in the water, Jones. I was kind of thinking... Might be too deep or something?
I don't think that'll work.
Wish I still had an orichalcum bead. You thought he was made of sugar? I mean, he acted like it most of the rest of this game. He'll take me to there. So I have some thoughts about the lava room as well. Oh, that's an empty room. Which door takes me to the jail? Oh my goodness. Said you? Yeah, I did wonder if other guards had things.
It looks just like that eel statue in Iceland. I don't think that'll work.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to, but...
It's not pointing anywhere.
What's my amphora filled? My amphora has water. Okay. Now the guard is gone. I have a feeling it's just one guard equals sausage. Perfectly normal sentence. Yeah, this is where I got that wheel. So this way is done. Okay, we're back here. No.
Sophia?
What?
Are you all right?
I'll feel a lot better once you open this cell.
I just crawled through a mile of mud for you.
It was a picnic compared to life in this cell.
Did you miss me?
Put it this way, even
with every
your
bullet so far.
company beats this cell.
Okay, so there's some statue parts I can pick up, but I obviously can't reach them from here. Okay, so there's nothing... So I feel like what I need to be doing is making another orichalcum bead to open up the sentry doors.
You must be Indiana Jones. Looks like your adventure is over.
Another Nazi stooge. Let's see how big a goon you really are.
Enough talk.
Good enough talk. Have at you.
He doesn't have anything worth taking.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking one guard, one sausage.
I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll work.
So we have a funnel. Just gonna empty out my amphora into that. See if I can fill up the amphora with lava. Indy probably won't like it.
Guess it doesn't like water. Looks okay to me. It's a bronze wheel.
Astute observation, Dr. Jones.
I'd rather not stick my hand under a stream of molten lava. That doesn't seem to work. Why?
Why not?
I don't think that'll work.
Hmm. Can the water go in the crab pool? I don't know. If I use the water in the crab pool area, it just fills up the tank. Oh.
Dr. Jones, is it?
Well-
Now we've got you.
We'll see about that. Let's talk this over. Some other time.
Give up, Jones. There's no escape.
You could just walk away. Okay, I haven't beat this
Jones
soldier
again.
up yet.
Too bad you didn't leave when you had the chance.
Don't be too sure. I'm tired of running. But not that tired.
Come back and fight like a man.
I was not expecting that.
Jones again. Too bad you didn't leave when you had the chance.
Don't you know when to quit? Put 'em up.
Come back
What?
and fight
I...
like a man.
whatever. I was not trying to run away that time. I was just trying to back up a little. Why, yes, I am pulling up a guide because at this point...
Dr. Jones, is it? Now we've got you.
We'll see about that. Whoops, wrong turn.
Run, you coward!
Just two of the three. Why have a third option?
Jones again. Too
What?
bad
Oh.
you didn't leave when you had the chance.
Don't be too sure. Put 'em up.
Indy, punch him. Uh-oh. That ended poorly. Indy discovered Atlantis, but the Nazis went the race to unearth its secrets. How far? Oh no. We have to restart everything in the maze. Have I saved recently? Not particularly. Okay, so we've been here. Okay, so that's the machine room. I need to get everything again. Oy vey. Okay, so that's shortcut. It's also a shortcut. Ah, but this is good. This gets us... Weren't these reversed last time?
What a mess.
Is there anything else in robot parts to get? I don't think so. Okay. I'll be lava room. Glad these don't randomize, it seems. I'm gonna try something. Or...
The orichalcum is already in the box.
Okay. What if we close the box?
It's not pointing anywhere. There must not be any orichalcum nearby.
Okay. I'm wondering if there's spare random orichalcum beads in some of these rooms that are seemingly useless.
I don't think that'll work.
What? No, I just want you to walk through the door. Think the guard at the station is different? The guards seem to randomly warp around, yeah. Yeah, I need to beat up a soldier to get
You must be
his sausage
Indiana
anyway.
Jones. Looks like your adventure is over.
Another Nazi stooge. Let's get this over with.
My thought exactly.
Just deck him out.
Looks like he's got some rations.
Yeah, see. One Nazi, one sausage.
You'd think the Atlanteans wouldn't be such slobs.
Oh, here we go. Bronze gear. I did not see that previously. But that's going to help with the giant machine room. The worst part of this section is just that walking everywhere just takes forever. No, I
Must be Indiana Jones. Looks like your adventure is over.
Don't
think you
be
walked
too
around him.
sure. Wait till Nurab Sal hears about this.
Where you're going, you can give him my regards.
Nope. That led to a fight this time.
He doesn't have anything worth taking.
Let's open the box. I know we use the orichalcum to free.
Uh-oh, that didn't work very well.
I almost missed this. Hey,
The
Crimson Knight.
sentry statues
Good to
have
see
it
it.
locked up tight. I can't budge the thing.
Okay, but what about the...
I don't think that'll work.
What do you mean?
The stein is now full of water.
Okay, so now we have a broken thingamajig.
It's not pointing anywhere.
Okay, so it's the statue with the weird head.
It's not pointing anywhere.
Ah, good. Eel statue. I'll save right here. We've been to both of those rooms. We need to go to this room, that room, this room. Right, that's the statue room that we can't get across. Oh, this pile of rubble is something. Okay, see, I screwed up there. Because earlier I was like, oh, well, that's rubble. I just can't walk past it. Because other piles of rubble are not interactable. Sorry, buddy, I'm gonna take this ribcage. I think that's the solution.
Now, this might be useful.
Yeah, just random... Rubbish!
It's not pointing anywhere.
I don't think it's rubbish, it's just someone's ribcage.
I don't think that'll work.
I'm not I'm trying to walk. Don't know what I thought I was trying to do there. Oh, okay, so I can set... I'm making a trap.
I don't think that'll work. That doesn't seem to work.
What do you mean that's not gonna work?
There's a rib cage in Crab Central.
Why is it Crab Central?
It worked.
I have to put the bait in the...
I hope this catches crabs.
the crabs like ribs. Snap. So I have a rib cage with a crab in it. Great. This is just what I wanted for Christmas. There's gotta be extra orichalcum somewhere. Or we can make orichalcum somehow.
It's not pointing anywhere.
And yes, I am using a guide at this point. Not intensely, but like generally just like helping speed along finishing this. Okay, well, had the right idea on that one at least.
I guess that porcelain mug couldn't hold the lava.
Oops, indeed.
That clay jar couldn't hold
I'm
the
clearing
lava.
out my inventory. Sometimes I see games like this and have to ask if the developers were needlessly obtuse or if they actually thought the way the game's puzzle logic worked. Yeah. Yeah. So we need a container. And I know where another container is. I just don't know how to get to it. Okay, so the machine room's how I make orichalcum beads, apparently. All these games like this, and some made for kids, I think they would make us smarter than they do. They make us think like game designers and developers. Yeah.
Dr.
Nope.
Jones, is it? Now we've got you.
We'll see about that. Maybe I'd better head south.
Whoop, whoop, whoop,
Run,
whoop,
you
whoop, whoop,
coward.
whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, so I need an orichalcum bead to do that, but to do that, let's go back to the machine room. I think I have everything we need. Excuse me. It certainly feels like a reverse problem solver.
Well, that looks much better. I don't think that'll work.
Oh.
I don't think that'll work.
Okay, so the machine room lets you make orichalcum. 2 pegs, which can... The left peg, there's a bronze wheel. You can pick it up if you want, but it's best just to leave it. Orichalcum beads, you need to first put the bronze spoked wheel on the right peg, and then go to the upper part of the machine and pour your cup filled with lava inside the funnel. Then you go back down, pick up the beads. You can pick it up to get the lava in the room as many times as you want. However, after a while, Indy will say that he can't carry any more beads. So what is this gear even for? Rotata. Well, we're gonna need some time because we need to go back and get our ladder. Guess how we cross the chasm. Anyway, the very end of the gospel is a passage that's been used by the church to talk about the importance of the celibate vocation, that those who renounce marriage for the sake of the kingdom have a particular kind of holiness. And it's true, I think. As a church, we have that. But it's not against marriage. It's just that is a particular way of witnessing to the truth of the kingdom, that ultimately there will be no marriage. But, you know, all our vocations are to witness the kingdom, to show our love and our response to God's love in how we show that to the world. So, that's my rotata.
It sure is ugly.
Hey, Britt. Not at work, but chilling in your car? Okay. Good to see ya. Would you also say that today's daily readings also know that marriage is a covenant made by and with God? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's a key part of it, too, is that sometimes we can think, oh, well, that means that marriage is bad. It's like, no, Jesus is very clear in this passage that marriage is a good thing and a covenant made by God. We got 2 on Fridays. Chill until you meet with someone. Oh, I don't need this yet. I need to go to the lava room. You have multiple Burkadoos. Lay it on us. We're just kind of meandering around this hallway. Went to a different church today because it was going to spiritual direction.
Dr.
Priest
Jones,
focused on just
you got away before, but not
supportive,
this time.
Don't you know
listening
when to
to
quit?
people who have been divorced. I think that's also very,
I
very
think I
true
should
and
find
important.
another hallway.
You know, like
Give up, Jones. There's no escape.
divorce is not a simple and straightforward thing, and you know, our response should always be to journey and accompany people. Aha. We have a cup that can hold lava now. It's just like Minecraft.
Dr. Jones, you got away before, but not this time.
Don't you know when to quit? Maybe I better head east.
Yeah.
Run, you coward!
Annulments are interesting from a theological angle. How would you apply it to someone who felt like creation of people is very self-centered of God? Like, God created us in order to have someone to love and worship him. I know it's not self-centered. I'm not sure how to explain it. It's because God's love was so overflowing. Yeah, I like the way you put that, Braver. That's, you know, just... Oh, that's fun. Apparently, one of our doors isn't staying closed. Oh, look, the crab's animated in there. He came out, he's like... I'm gonna save really quickly. Because in case this doesn't work for some reason... Oh, look, it did a thing. The Atlanteans invented chiptune, apparently.
Well, well, orichalcum beads. I'll put them in the box too.
I like how he's like, ah, cool, I just made orichalcum beads. I'm just gonna walk away, as this is perfectly normal. Okay, which of these rooms led to the prison area? I think it was this one. I hope it was this one, because this would be so easy if I could just... in an orichalcum bead. No, it wasn't this one. I don't know really quite how to elaborate on it, honestly, Britt. It's just... God loves us, or God is so much full of love that he's like, cool. Let's make more people to share and encounter that love.
Dr. Jones, you got
I
away
was-
before, but not this time.
Shut up!
Don't you know when
Shut
to
up.
quit?
I was busy reading chat.
Maybe I'd better head south.
Give up, Jones. There's no escape.
Ah, here we go. We need to use an orichalcum bead here. Still don't know why I have a crab. I suppose we'll come to figure that out later. Burkadoo-doo! If you go to Mass while not in a state of grace, no, you're not inhibiting... I know you're inhibiting reception of graces, but do you still receive them? Or just not get the graces all? Well, part of the idea of... state of grace, not state of grace, mortal sin, all that, it ultimately is coming down to us and our ability to turn our backs on God. And so if we try to think about it in terms of, like, mechanical ways like that, it doesn't always work. Like, it doesn't... There's not a one-to-one. You know, I'm just gonna...
You must be Indiana Jones. Looks like your adventure is over.
Yeah, the music on
Don't
that one
be
scene
too
is just,
sure.
like, wild.
Let's see how big a goon you really are.
Enough talk.
Low blows, Indy, low blows.
He doesn't have anything worth taking.
Yeah, exactly. Can't receive... We can't cooperate with grace in the normal ways, but it doesn't mean that God doesn't still have grace for us.
Hey, it's getting hot.
Yeah, I think it's just something that doesn't... We want to, like, try and formalize it.
I can't budge the thing.
What do you mean you can't budge the thing? The water's gone.
It's all that's left of the eel statue. I don't need a worthless heap of slag.
Did I lock myself out by... Okay. Whew. Yeah, sometimes trying to think mechanically about grace, it's not a bad idea, but it's just one that doesn't quite work. Have I saved recently? No, that'd be a good idea. After I opened Sophia's cage.
Not much left of him. I can't pick that up.
Well, thought maybe he'd have, like, a key or something on him.
Sophia?
Yes?
Sit tight.
Don't leave me here, Indy.
I won't.
I don't think that'll work.
It's worked for everything else we need leverage on.
I can't reach it. I can't reach...
Okay. Okay, you have the choice. You don't have to rescue her. That's terrifying. Oh, we don't have the tool needed to free her, apparently. Weird. Anyway, Burkadoo 3! How would you respond to why are you allowed to receive one species when Jesus said unless you eat? Because he is fully present.
Jones!
Because,
Don't you dare leave me here, you troglodyte!
I mean, that's valid, but we're coming back, I promise. Because the kind of presence that of Jesus is not it's not physical in the way that we use physical. It's not that he is limited.
It's a pile of bones.
Here, crab, have an octopus. Or octopus, have a crab. Have a little snack. Burped.
I can't board it from here.
Okay.
I have to cross the canal first. It's not operating. I don't think that'll work.
It works on everything else. Yeah, it's because of the kind of thing we're talking about, because it's a transcendental reality. And yes, it is his body. Yes, it is his blood. I am not going to deny that by any means. But it's also not like it's a piece of his skin or a piece of his muscle and an ounce of his blood. It's his whole body and all of his blood and his whole self, his whole divinity. It's everything. Thomas Aquinas has a lot on that.
It's a strange carving.
Have you got a pointed stick? You know, actually, I'm out of pointed sticks. Let's see what this has to say. Okay, I did that. I'm on the crab raft.
I don't think that'll work. It doesn't seem to open.
Oh, crab mouth is just barely
Whoa,
clickable.
this thing's got a motor.
Yeah, how to phrase it? I think ultimately just it's mystery.
It's
You know,
closed.
and it can be frustrating. We can want to say, you know, well, why can't we come up with an answer? It's like, well, it doesn't work that way.
It's closed. It's a light wand.
I think that in the body of Christ with a pinky nail. There's a thought.
It's closed.
I know it's closed. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay.
It's a stone disc with solar images carved into it.
Yeah, I know. Tiny little details. Yeah, I mean, just with... There's a sense of trust in the Eucharist.
It's
Because...
closed. It's a stone disc.
Yeah, I
with
know
solar
it
images
is, Andy.
carved
I'm
into
trying
it.
to use it. Because there really is just ultimately that trust that's like, okay, yeah, this is his body. And we may not have an answers to fully explain that all the time. He gives us, hey, Warrior for Christ, welcome, come on in, glad to have you.
I'll never get through here.
Well, not with that attitude. Yeah, no, I remember you, Warrior. It's good to have you here. Thank you for the follow.
It doesn't quite fit.
Yeah, and it's tough because like there are ways to think about and talk about the Eucharist, to understand the mystery. But even then, like it's going to be limited. There's only so much it can do. How was Mass? Mass was very nice today. Had a really beautiful time with benediction. Just good crowd at Mass.
It's a broken statue.
Been to Mass 5 times. Good. It's a good way to learn and grow. And
I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll work.
I feel like the bronze gear is glitching because it's like
I don't think that'll work.
not letting me use it on
I
something
don't
else.
think that'll work.
Anyway, Burkadoo 4, a lot more fun, less deep. Do you have any fun places or things to do to the sacraments that you could tell a brief story about? For example, I had a really weird place. I had my confession once. Oh, hey, Junie, welcome. Thank you for the raid. I'm sorry. I thought I turned Moopa down. Ah! Hey, Tyrilla Knight. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Come on in. Doodle raid. How'd you do in Hollow Knight? You
It's a
get
chain through a loop of stone.
in my church. It's hard to remember what Pastor talked about because it's hour 30 minutes long. Oof. Yeah. We died, but we got new stuff. Hey, let's go.
It's a loop of bronze where the arm used to connect.
You still remember what the priest talked about? There you go. I am amazed. Sometimes people come up to me and they're like, "Oh, Father, that was a really good homily you gave last week." I'm like, "Great. What did I say?" Please remind me, because I've already been working on the next one. Anyway, not Bree, Brittany, in answer to your question, why can't I? Hello? There you go. Fun stories. I think my favorite fun story is just the way I had to receive communion in St. Peter's at a papal mass. Because of the way the chairs were set up and everything. I had to like lunge and have my arm way out. It was like practically falling over.
It's already open. It seems to be a simple storage nook.
Oh, that was the door.
What's this?
Oh. Oh, that looks important. I'm gonna take a picture of that just in case. I don't take screenshots. I just take a photo of my screen. Do I write down my homilies, or do I or bullet points? No, I don't write anything down at this point. Actually, I give it fully from memory. I usually write out an outline, but like I don't print it out. I don't have it at the ambo.
Doesn't quite fit.
I sometimes won't even preach the ambo because there's a vulnerability that you can create, which is very nice in standing in front of the congregation. You're going to college soon? That's awesome. What you guys study?
It's closed. It's a stone disc with lunar images carved into it.
Yeah, I know it is.
It doesn't quite fit. It doesn't quite fit.
Stay out of self-drugs. Oh, pharmaceuticals. Okay, so that's all of that. So there must be something else at the gate that we missed. Oh, consarn it. It's a Baptist college? Oh. We all take our own paths. And, hopefully, at the end of the day, A, that's still an education rooted in Christ, and B, hopefully it's a good education. So... I have to go back because I just read I need my ladder. The priest of the Catholic Church, your town is friends with the priest at your college? Cool. Gonna go lurk. All right. You take care, Junie. Have a good lunch. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the lurk. Take my ladder back. Actually, I wonder really quickly. Can I pick up the ladder on this side? I can.
I don't think that'll work.
Okay, well, I thought maybe you could look in the mouth or something. Try to share easy site for sharing masks. Yeah, I don't allow links on just because you never know what crazy spam might show up. Shop off, hey, it's good to see you, Britt. I hope you have a great weekend. Hey, no, glad to have you come in and ask the questions. It's what this stream is here for. Yeah, Brayherd Lord can post the link. He has mod power. Yes, vote for me Saturday. I'm competing in the Game of Favorites Sudden Death Tournament. I paid for it with my channel points. Vote for middle because I can't vote for myself. That's right, we're competing. Let's look at this
It's
chest plate.
closed.
Well, open it then. That's not how you open it, Indy. Wait, I have a picture for this. Maybe? No, that's not what the picture's for.
The bead won't fit there. It just spat the bead back out. It just spat the bead back out.
Oh no. Am I missing a piece? Okay, so it is tied to that picture, apparently. It's just really obtuse.
I can't put it there. I can't put it there. just spat the bead back out.
Thought that's what I... Okay, so what way is this statue even looking?
Nothing happened.
So, the right arm is, as we're looking at, is straight out. Tomorrow's your birthday. Hey, that's great. Happy birthday.
That won't work.
No, I'm trying to take
I
it
can't
out.
put it there. It just spat the bead back out. Nothing happened.
Can I use the chain?
I can't make the chain reach that far.
That bronze loop? I am missing a piece. That is frustrating. I have to go back. Well, let's look at this debris really quickly. Can I pick it up?
I can't pick that up. It's debris from the robot.
Well, that's nice. Anyway, you remember that wheel we grabbed earlier? And we put on the orichalcum machine? We gotta go back and get it again. This is some frustrating game design. Children, if you're making a game, don't make people backtrack this much through long, repetitive areas. We are finishing this today, whether or not we go into overtime. I like this. I do like this game. Like it. I think it looks great. It sounds great. The writing is great. The puzzles are okay. Some of them have been better than others. But this ending is just like a slog. You get overtime channel points? No. You earn the channel points at the same rate. Yeah, and guess what? We're also not done with the labyrinth yet because we still need to rescue Sophia. No, you Nazi jerk, you went the wrong way. No, 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 Indy. Indy, stop. Have the Sierra Malabar been expanding their presence in America, or am I just noticing it a lot more recently? That's a great question. I don't know. I'm not Sierra Malabar, and I'm not really connected, so... If they are, good for them? Also be nice if this had a speed up button. All right. Just read this recently, but realized that Saint Thomas went to India specifically to preach to Hellenistic settlements that were there still from the time of Alexander the Great. Just a cool thing, the unintended consequences. Yeah, actually, when the Portuguese rolled up in India, the residents there where they landed were Thomas Christians, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, Christians just like us." Insert another bead inside the hole.
It can't move anymore in that direction. This puzzle is weird. Oh, there we go. Hey, look, a hinge pin.
Maybe we can use the hinge pin to rescue our friend. I guess that mural was trying to tell us how to activate various arms to do things, but it was a little obtuse. Also annoying that we had to go back for something. Actually, two things. At least going back for Sophia, she's right here. Here, Sophia, I got you something.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Maybe we'll think of something.
Are you sure this is safe?
Hurry up.
And let you drop this bronze door on me?
Brace the door with a rock.
I don't have a rock.
You have a pin. Also, why couldn't I do that earlier?
What makes you think this is safer now?
Will you just...
Get a move on and find out.
I need a moment to think.
Sophia!
Just trust me.
Not if you're going to yell. What makes you think this is safer now?
I've got a plan.
Which is?
Brace the cage with a hinge pin.
You know, that just might work. There!
Why was that not an option earlier?
You know, I had to slug you.
Her
Come
name
on,
means
Sophia,
wisdom.
Don't be angry.
Yeah,
Angry?
sometimes
You
names
left
are
me rotting in
deceiving.
hellhole.
Well, if that's how you feel, maybe you should stay here.
Maybe I will.
Great idea.
Fine.
Fine.
Children, you're both beautiful.
What was that?
I'm not sure. I think Nur Absol made me do it.
Is that so? Dangerous fella, that Mr. Sal.
Yeah. Well, we better be going.
To make me suffer, did it work? Absolutely. It took me straight back here, yay.
I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll work.
I'm
I don't
not
think
trying to
that'll
float to
work.
Sophia. Float through the door, Indy. Context-sensitive buttons. I should get one of these crab things to go around town in. You know, look good going down Fifth Ave in a crab. Was that Harrison Ford's voice? Oh, hey, Father Bill. It might actually be. I don't know.
Indy, Nurab Sal is here. I sense his presence.
Well, yes, I imagine
Hold
his
on a
bones
minute.
are here. It's Atlantis.
Are you feeling okay?
Never better. I feel all-powerful.
That was different.
You look kind of lost to me.
I'm not lost. I'm nearly home.
This seems homey to you?
Yes, very.
Brrr. Oh, for crying out
Doug
loud.
Lee is apparently the voice actor for Indy in this. He did a great job.
In here, Indy. Follow me.
Oh, good, lava pit.
Ah,
I see no way this could end.
welcome to my humble abode.
Nurabsal, your boat is... I don't know if humble's the word I'd use. And you need to clean up. My goodness, all these skeletons.
Excuse me.
I hear you.
Jeez, this place gives me the creeps.
Oh, I find it exceptionally restful.
Yeah, the stone beds sure look comfy.
Silence, fool.
Take it easy
Okay.
when I look around.
Take your time. I'm not going anywhere.
Sophia has found her home. Oh, good. Skeletons lying all next to each other.
It's a bronze rod, probably a king's scepter. Look at those feet, or whatever they were.
Says Rick Priest. Home is where the heap is. Oh, I want to give Sophia the scepter.
Look at those feet, or whatever they were.
Hooves.
It's a lava pit full of calcified skeletons.
I don't think calcified skeletons would survive in a lava pit. Yeah, get a specifically trained priest. Begone, Nurabsal. Well, I think I found our way out of here. No, Indy. Indy, please pick a direction, up or down. Indy. Oh no, I'm not touching anything anymore. Okay, I broke his programming. Good.
It's a huge version of the Microtar statue.
Let's feed it an orichalcum. Aha! I have levers.
It doesn't work.
Well,
It's a lever. I can't move it. It won't go down any further.
He's just exercising before exercising.
I can't pick that up.
Don't want you to pick up the machine, I want you to pick up the lever. Okay, so I'm gonna need more levers.
Obscene.
Oh, hello, strange markings that are probably a clue.
I wonder if these markings are related to that huge machine.
Why don't you let me look at them? Cool, it's decorative. 3 slots left and right up. Probably. I just would have liked maybe a close-up.
How horrible.
You're an archaeologist. You're used to seeing bones. But I can't move the left one right now.
It doesn't work.
Okay, so it is just that one scepter, I guess. Oh, hello.
I wonder if these markings are related to that huge machine. Creepy.
There's so many crabs here.
Hey,
Big mortal!
come on, Sophia, let's get out of here.
Never!
I'm staying right
Make a
here.
hot pot?
Spirit guides my thoughts.
Hello, spirit guide. My name's Jones.
Yes, I know you. You'll make a fine slave.
Oh, yeah? Don't count on it. Are you coming with me or not?
I'm not going anywhere.
Take it easy while I look around.
Take your time. I'm not going anywhere.
Hey, Sophia, you still wearing that necklace?
Mind if I look at your necklace?
Don't you dare take my necklace! Ah! Ow!
Oh, it's evil.
That medallion is hot.
Drop it, why don't you?
Sal won't let me.
Ouch! It's too hot.
Oh, sure, I
Sorry,
tried.
Sophia. So long, Sol.
Turns out he was evil all along. Brr.
Thanks, Indy. If you hadn't done that, I'd be as dead as that monster.
So, can we go now?
Excuse me.
Yes?
Come on, Sophia. Let's get out of here.
Lead the way, Indy. I'm with you.
Guess who has to backtrack some more? Because turns out you need the hinge pin with you. Nana Kit has redeemed a father joke. I've been saving this one. It's one I'm quite proud of. So, why is justice served cold? Because if justice was served warm, it would be just water. How'd you like that, Beer Fox?
I'm not going back there. I'll wait for you here.
That's fine. I'll be right back. Okay, they didn't want to animate Sophia in the...
I can't. It's wedged in too tight.
Do I have to talk to... Okay, no, good. Sophia's gonna just naturally come with us. Honestly, something I'm admiring in this game today is the sprite work for distance. So, like, as they come closer or more distant, the level of detail that they have, it's very well done.
Going up?
I'll wait down here.
Suit yourself.
Party's more fun up here. And then the left one can't have... I'm going to save. That's my last orichalcum. Orichalcum. Hello?
It won't go down any further.
Left and right. I can't... If I use something in the left slot, though, I can't move it.
I can't move it. It doesn't work.
Unless...
There's already something there.
Try pushing right then left.
Looks like an empty slot. It's a lever. Looks like another hungry mouth.
Can I put the lever in the middle and the left? Yes, but I can't move the one on the left. That's the problem.
I can't move it.
And now I can, apparently. I couldn't earlier.
It's working.
That's
Get on
weird.
board, Sophia.
No. Oh, good. Is that game over? Oh, thank goodness. I
That
was
was close.
Too close.
I was so worried there. so that was the one on the ground. I actually did remember that. I just didn't remember what positions everything was. Save early, save often.
This could be dangerous.
I'll take my chances.
Lava. This might mean more if I, you know, knew where I was headed.
Whoops!
Don't say whoops, Cindy. That's not a good thing to hear.
Ah!
Ah, to you indeed. You as well. Wait. This is where I started. Oh, whoops.
I can't climb back up. The passage is too steep.
Oh, fine. Go around the long way.
I can't reach it. I can't reach it. I can't reach it.
Let's go left this time. 'Cause that was a whoops and fall area.
I can't climb back up. The
Darn it.
passage is too steep.
Hey, did you like one maze? Hey, we'll give you another maze.
Whoops!
You may notice my inventory is just gone. I'm not allowed to have it anymore.
Whoa!
All roads lead to Rome, except in this case. All roads lead to that one corner.
Whoops!
You know, if Atlantis was powered by lava, I think I can see how their hubris may have backfired. So I went left here, and that led me down to here. So let's go right this time. Gonna just take a quick picture of what's on the wall there. Noticing these rings might come in handy. I can move off to the right
I
here.
can't reach it.
I don't think that does anything. To the left. Because in case this doesn't work, I do not want to have to backtrack that entire...
I can't go there. Are you
Okay.
coming?
Hold your horses.
Oh no. Okay, she's doing it on her own.
Nice moves.
Thanks.
Oh.
Here's your shining city.
Not what I expected, that's for sure.
And the place is still humming, maintaining the air pressure for untold centuries.
Let's go blow it up. Nope, we got our spindle right here. We've established this is a control system. How Indy destroys everything. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good at that. All right. Okay, so just look at this diagram. So noonday sun goes down there. Full moon should go up here. And world looks like it's city on the top. Nope. Ah,
That didn't do anything.
it's because I misclicked.
Still nothing.
Maybe this is just telling me what I needed, because it...
Nothing again. What's well-aligned mean, I wonder? Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. I just had city and volcano backwards.
Now, Lee.
I think I turned it on.
You see, Colonel? I told you Jones would be of some use to us.
Kerner, I knew I smelled a rat.
All I smell, Herr Jones, is your fear. Don't move. My God, how beautiful! Congratulations, Dr. Jones. You've just handed the Third Reich its ultimate victory.
More
No.
than a few orichalcum bombs that conquer the world over.
Bombs? The gods don't need bombs. Take a look around. What do you think this astonishing machinery was used for?
Just in case. Central Power Station.
Wrong! As Plato himself well knew, this was a factory for manufacturing higher beings.
Uh-huh.
You've been wandering around. We've been stockpiling orichalcum. And now we have all we need. Are you ready for the greatest moment in history, Doctor?
Think that he's cooked your cabbages.
I
That's a
think
good
the
one.
heat in here has cooked your cabbages.
Scientific discoveries belong to the bold, Jones. That's something you, of all people, should understand.
Did you notice all those hideously deformed bones?
Experiments gone awry, unworthy slaves sacrificed in the name of knowledge. Progress has its price, you know.
Progress could never have the price of human life.
Maybe they were all too human, like you.
He's an archaeologist, not a biologist.
Now, human, you mean?
Oh,
They
whoa!
destroyed
Oh wait, I
by
forgot
their
you're Nazi.
physical
You're already evil.
imperfections As they bathed in the awesome power of this device. Fortunately, we suffer from no such imperfections.
Sure.
Do you really believe this machine still works?
Why not? Everything else we found here certainly does. Think of it. As a god, I shall know everything, be everywhere, rule everyone. We both shall rule, Herr Doctor. Eh? Don't be silly, Colonel. You're not prepared for this. We shall see.
Send me a postcard from Valhalla.
Swell. Send me a postcard from Valhalla.
One more step and you'll get there first. You can't leave now. We're just beginning our experiment.
Don't let me stop you.
And we can't begin without a guinea pig, can we? Now, if you'll kindly step onto the platform. No! What? If anyone's going to become a god, it must be me. You? Don't make me laugh. I am in charge of this operation, you spineless sausage.
I would hope sausage is spineless.
A test is a test. Plato suggested 10B. Let's try that.
Wait.
What now, Charles?
Oh, go ahead. You could use some self-improvement.
Nazi
You sound a
humanness.
little too happy about this. Tell me what's so amusing.
Down with Nazis.
I think Plato prescribed an orichalcum overdose. Just a thought.
be right. We should divide by 10. Try 1 bead.
One bead it is. Himmel, it's working.
It's doing something. Oh, he fell into the lava. So sad.
A small bead for a small man, eh, Jones? Now it's your turn.
I'd rather watch, but thanks for the offer.
Move, unless you want my men to move you. That's better.
Pride something fall.
What makes you think you can outdo the old kings?
Science, my boy. We have it and say didn't. Here goes.
Hang on a second. Listen, what if Plato's error went the other way?
How do you mean?
Dividing by 10 didn't work, but multiplying might.
All right, Jones. You decide. How many beads should we use?
100 beads. Shoot the works.
Let's hope you've picked the correct amount. 98, 99.
You put those first 98 in really quickly.
Indy, no!
Huh. Well, that's an ending. I don't think that's the right one. Holiday parties.
Barbecues?
Wrong. As Plato himself well knew, this was a factory for manufacturing higher beings.
While you've been wandering around, we've been stockpiling orichalcum.
And now we have all we need. Are you ready for the greatest moment in history, Doctor?
I think the heat in here has cooked your cabbages.
Scientific discoveries belong to the bold, Jones. That's something you, of all people, should understand.
Did you notice all those hideously deformed bones?
That's an ending. That's a great way to describe it. Yeah. Good to see you, Daniel. Hope you're doing well.
Maybe they were all too human, like you.
Subhuman, you mean? They were destroyed by their physical imperfections when they bathed in the awesome power of this device.
Fortunately, we suffer from no such imperfection.
You really believe in this godhood business?
Why not? As a god, I shall know everything, be everywhere, rule everyone.
We both shall rule here, Doctor.
Eh? Don't be
I don't think
silly,
that's gonna
Colonel.
work.
You're not prepared for this.
We shall see.
Give him the 100 dose, yeah? Tell you what, let's all go home and die in bed.
Tell you what, let's all go home and die in bed.
Be a scientist, we can't leave. We must test the machine. And you'll make a fine volunteer.
No!
What?
If anyone's going to become a god, it must be me.
You don't make me laugh.
I am in charge of this operation, you spineless sausage. Activate the machine.
A test is a test. Plato suggested 10 beats. Let's try that.
Okay, this is where decisions. I don't want to go through that whole thing again if I screw up again.
What now, Charles?
You're making a big mistake, Kerner.
How so?
Most of Plato's numbers were way off target. Just a thought.
Maybe you're right. We should divide by
Nope.
10. What now, Charles?
Oh, go ahead. You could use some self-improvement.
You sound a little too happy about this. Tell me what's so amusing.
Ten beads may give you size 10 antlers. Just a thought.
Maybe you're right. We should divide by
No.
10. What now?
No, I'm
Charles?
supposed to get him to do the 100, but
What about Plato's tenfold error?
What about it?
Most of Plato's numbers were way off target. Just a thought.
Maybe you're right. We should divide by 10.
am I doing
Try
something
one
wrong?
bead.
One beat it is. Himmel, it's working. A small beat for a small man.
Yeah, but all the answers seem to lead to that same.
Not a chance, cue ball.
No, unless you want my men to move you. That's better.
You don't need orichalcum, you need a miracle.
Nonsense. I'll start with Plato's number. 10 beats should do the trick. Here goes.
Hang on a second. Let's talk this over.
There's no time. How many beats should we use?
No beats, you crazy old man.
Come now, Doctor. Where's your scientific curiosity?
Please, Professor, don't make me do this.
Look on the bright side. You'll be leaving your cares behind.
Oh, this is different. Okay, you'd make
You
it
know,
much
you'd
better.
make a much better god than me.
That goes without saying, but there's no reason to turn up your nose at the chance to become one of the lesser immortals.
Please, Professor, I've got classes to teach.
Stop whining, man. Let's not take chances. How does 20 beads sound?
No beads. Forget your stupid obsession.
Really, Dr. Jones, get a grip on yourself.
It's not too late. Let's call the whole thing off.
Show some spine, man. How many beads should we use?
No beads. Let's get out of here.
Not yet.
Still got a chance if we leave now.
Glory belongs to the fearless, Chons.
Wait a minute. Let's go home.
Stop whining, man. How many beads should be
Okay, I
used?
think I'm locked into this.
Whatever you say.
Let's hope you've picked the correct amount. 18, 19, 20 beads.
Okay, so
Now, Charles.
What about Plato's tenfold error?
What about it?
Most of Plato's numbers were way off target. Just a thought.
Maybe right. We should divide by 10. Try 1 bead.
One bead it is. Himmel, it's talking. A small bead for a small man, eh, Jones? Now it's your turn.
No thanks. Godhood's for egomaniacs like you.
Move, unless you want my men to move you. That's better.
You don't need orichalcum, you need a miracle.
Nonsense. I will start with Plato's number. 10 beats should do the trick. Here goes.
Hang on a second.
let's resave here.
Let's talk this over.
There's no time. How many beats should we use?
No beads, you crazy old man.
Come now, Doctor. Where's your scientific curiosity?
Please, Professor, don't make me do this.
Look on the bright side. You'll be leaving your cares behind.
So we've tried the god thing.
Listen, what if Plato's error went the other way?
How do you mean?
I think Plato and Kerner were both wrong.
All right, Jones. You decide. How many beats should we use?
Who cares how many beads? It's all a myth.
In that case, let's try Plato's suggestion. 8, 9, 10 beats.
Is 10 the lucky number to survive? Nope.
Listen, what if Plato's error went the other way?
How do you mean?
I think if I tried to talk my way out of it,
You can't buy Godhood for a couple of beads.
All right, Jones. You decide. How many beats should we use?
like when I get to this point, and I say no
you
beads,
crazy old man.
Come
it
now,
gets stuck in a
Doctor.
loop essentially.
Where's your scientific curiosity?
For your sake, I hope this doesn't work.
Why not?
Oh, this is different.
Once I'm a
Trying to
guy,
with help?
I'm sending you straight to hell.
I'm off offering you immortality. Is that the thanks I get?
Ever hear the term angry god? Wait till you see me.
Hang on. Perhaps I haven't thought this through.
Okay, there's like one narrow window you have to find and jump through it. That is so this game.
My generosity. Well, you won't get the upper hand that way. Stand aside, Jones. 98. 99.
That was annoying.
100 beats. Prepare to feel my wrath.
Ah, now he is the spirit thing that dissipates. Spoopy. 3 Spoopy, 5 me.
Follow me, Sophia. Hurry.
And they all lived happily ever after, except for the Nazis. The end.
You know, a lot of my discoveries seem like tall tales even to me. At least there's some evidence this time.
Then again, maybe not.
2 people need to steer a U-boat. I mean, Indy was steering the U-boat by himself earlier. Clearly, it's just
What
one
was that
person.
for?
To ease the pain.
Woo! We did it! This game was fun. A little obtuse sometimes. I didn't like all the backtracking in Atlantis that you have to do. But I still did enjoy this at the end of the day. And I would replay it to do the other 2. Because there's 2 other paths you can take. Only a little, yeah, only by half an hour or so. Just a little bit. Those square waves. So. But well done, Dr. Jones. Well done. So thank you so much to everyone for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. It's been good to be with y'all here today. Thank you to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed, rated, all that good jazz. Checked out the YouTube. Checked out the Discord. Glad to have y'all here. And yes, vote for me tomorrow over at P. Tony's channel, competing at 4 o'clock and hopefully again at 8 o'clock. But I'm also co-hosting at 6 o'clock for Kicks and Giggles. So join us again on Monday for RPG Monday with more 358 over 2 days, Kingdom Hearts. Spirituality Tuesday, more 5, Guardians of David. Continuing to check that out, having fun with that. And midweek Minecraft, of course. And then next time on Throwback Thursday, it's going to be back on Thursday. Don't worry, this was just a one-time thing. Since I can't vote for myself. Yeah, vote for me, Beer Fox. But anyway, yeah, I have a special treat planned for the next round of Throwback Thursday. I have not just one, not just two, I have 3 Power Ranger games on the Super Nintendo because I grew up with Power Rangers and it was awesome, and these games are honestly legit. So we're gonna be playing through these as well as a 4th surprise game in the theme of it. Just over the course of the next couple of weeks. Should be a lot of fun. So yeah, but thank you again to everyone. Why don't we see who's live to raid? Maybe Yenza might be live before, because she usually streams before to raid into Goff, so might send you that way. She's not live, but gonna send you on over to Possum Blossoms instead. She's a Possum VTuber. She's part of the Catholic streaming group. Raid call is gonna be, where's the body? Because she's apparently playing a game, crime scene collector, or cleaner. Sorry, cleaner. So ask her where the body is. We need to know. So, but gonna raid on over there. Hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Take care and God bless.